everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm David Mathis, and I want to thank you guys. If you guys are the first time viewers and new to the channel, welcome. Just a little background on myself. I am an Army combat medic veteran. I do hold a master's in exercise science from the University of South Florida, and I am an online strength and physique coach. So that's a little rundown of me. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, check out a lot of my other videos on the channel. I do talk about my past history. And I do have a lot of other videos on my channel talking about various topics, interviews with people. So hopefully you find that very entertaining and educating along the way. So today's video is another video in my series called Ask the Coach. Now I take all these questions from people either through Instagram. You can find me at mathasfitness on the Instagram, MATHAS fitness. A lot of people get that wrong. Or that people reach out to me on Facebook, or people that leave comments in the comment section below. So I really like that, interacting with you guys. But today's question did come from somebody on Instagram, and it was, what are the most important variables to consider and to pretty much remember when trying to build muscle? So I came up with 4 that I think are the very most important, and the ones that if you don't have down pat, you're probably gonna have a pretty hard time building muscle, okay? So the very first one I wanna talk to is about training intensity, so mechanical tension. A lot of people will hear that volume is the driver of hypertrophy, and although volume is important, and I will get to that, mechanical tension is what's most important, okay? If we are not challenging the muscle, if we are not providing enough resistance to the muscle for it to actually break down so that we can repair and we can grow, then it's pointless. Volume can be defined many different ways. How I define it is sets times reps, okay? Some people do sets times reps times weight. To me, I think that's called total workload, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get into that later. Mechanical tension is what is important, okay? So it's not really the quantity, it's the quality of the reps. Are you taking your muscle to failure or close to failure? Science shows that you can be within, 2 to 3 reps of failure and still induce hypertrophy. I am a science guy. I know the science. I think that is true. However, I can tell you from experience and from not only myself and from clients, the closer you can train to failure, the better, okay? Now, rep ranges, that's gonna vary. Somewhere between about 6 reps and about 15 to 20 reps is gonna help with hypertrophy. It doesn't really matter as long as you're taking things to failure. So that's where I'm saying mechanical tension is the number one thing to remember when you are trying to grow muscle, okay? So people get caught up in the rep ranges, they get caught up in how many sets and everything, but they forget that they're not putting full effort into each set and each rep to begin with. So that's where you need to pick a weight that you're taking yourself within a rep or so of failure, and you're wanting to monitor your recovery. The second most important variable is the volume, okay? So that is important. I didn't want to make it sound like it wasn't important because you have to have the volume in there. But as your intensity, mechanical tension, goes up, volume is going to have to go down a little bit, okay? The reason is because we are not humans. I mean, we are not robots. We are humans, okay? We don't have unlimited ability to just keep going. We will break down. We do have to take into account muscle tissue repair, joints and ligaments, and our central nervous system, okay? So that's where you'll see people that fall into a couple categories, either low volume, high intensity, or high volume, low intensity. Now, me personally, I find best results with high intensity, low volume. Not only are you more efficient in the gym, you're not having those extra added junk volume sets that a lot of people do where you're just kind of moving weight. You're really not stimulating much muscle. I really believe in doing a little bit lower volume and higher intensity stuff to really maximize that muscle building potential, okay? But obviously we've seen people like Jay Cutler do more of a higher volume type training. We see other pros, Dorian Yates, doing more of a high intensity, lower volume. Both work, right? So what's important is that you need to find what's going to work for you. So first variable, make sure you've got the intensity there. Make sure you've got mechanical tension at its highest. Number 2 is volume. Make sure that you are putting in enough volume for each body part. That's typically going to be somewhere between about 10 and 16 sets per body part per week, okay? Now, this is going to vary a little bit person to person, and it's going to vary a little bit depending on someone's training age and how much experience they have. But typically, you can factor in about 10 to 16 hard working sets. I'm not counting warm-ups, okay? Hard working sets per muscle group per week to induce enough hypertrophy, okay? And that's going to lead us into the third variable, and that is rest and recovery, okay? I did just get done saying we're not robots, right? We need to rest and recover. We don't grow in the gym, okay? We might feel huge. We might feel like we're getting good pumps in the gym and stuff like that, and we are. But we are breaking down in the gym, okay? And if we're spending more time in the gym breaking down and not giving ourselves enough time outside of the gym to actually rest and let our body heal, repair those torn muscle fibers, right? To grow back stronger and bigger, then we're just wasting our time in the gym, okay? So we have to have some time off. We have to make sure that we are taking care of our rest, getting enough sleep, doing our mobility work, doing our foam rolling, our stretching, all that good stuff. Making sure you're going to the chiropractor, getting adjustments, getting massages, whatever other forms of rehabilitation that you need to do to keep your body healthy, to keep training harder. That's what you need to do when you're resting, okay? That leads me into the fourth and final one is if you're not eating, you're not growing, okay? Food is so, so important, guys. I can't stress this enough. You can break down all you want in the gym, right? But if you don't have the nutrients in your body to actually repair and grow, then it's all pointless, okay? Now, a lot of people are afraid to eat a lot when they're growing muscle because they don't want to grow fat. And it's understandable, but you got to understand that you got to put on a little bit of body fat for hormonal reasons in order to grow the muscle. So there's a little fine balance there. So I would kind of suggest sticking somewhere between that, 0.2 to 0.25 pounds of weight gain per week range. I think that's a really good range to build some quality muscle and kind of limit excessive fat regain. There's going to be a little bit, so you gotta just have to be prepared for it. But we need that food to help repair, okay? We work hard in the gym, we break things down. We're not gonna repair that broken down muscle to grow bigger unless we have protein, right? We need protein, we need carbs, we need fats, we need it all, and we need to be in a bit of a calorie surplus. Now, we don't have to be in 1,000 calories above maintenance surplus, but we need to be in a good amount of surplus. So what I recommend to people is start with 100 calories. See how that goes for you for a little bit. Maybe then bump it up to 150 calorie increase, then 200, but do it slowly. There's no rush in this. Where people get into a bit of a bind is when they try to rush the process, either through dieting or through putting on muscle, because there is going to be a limit, all right? So let's go run through the 4 variables that I feel are the most important to building muscle again. Number 1, mechanical tension. How intense are you actually lifting? Number 2, volume. How much volume per body part are you giving attention to each week? Number 3 is rest and recovery. What are you doing on your downtime? Are you even taking any downtime, right? That is just as important as the time that you have in the gym. And number 4, food. Eat. Get enough protein, get enough overall calories. Do not be afraid of a little bit of fat regain, okay? Take it slow. There's no need to rush it. You're not going to, you can't out-eat muscle growth, all right? Meaning you can't just keep piling on food and expect more muscle to grow. You need to be in a certain amount of a surplus for your particular body. You need to progressively overload in the gym, have intense workouts, get that rest and recovery so that all that food you're taking in can repair that muscle tissue and you can grow new muscle, all right? Pretty basic, pretty easy, pretty simple, but we tend to overcomplicate things a lot in our own minds, okay? If you guys are enjoying these videos to Ask the Coach and you have a topic that I haven't answered yet, please leave a comment in the comment section below. You can reach out to me at mathasfitness, M-A-T-H-A-S, on Instagram. I do have a website, www.coachdavidmathis.com. Yeah, so I would love to try to make a video to answer one of your questions, especially if it's a very common question people have. So I am taking on new clients, so if you're interested, please email me, mathasfitness, M-A-T-H-A-S, fitness, @gmail.com. I'd love to try to help you out, bring you on board. I do flexible dieting, macro style coaching, and training programs. So have a great day, go get some training in, stay healthy and safe, and I'll be catching you soon.